Do you know what today is? Today is the day Court of Silver Flames comes out. It's the day. I can't believe it's finally here. I feel like I've been waiting for this book for just like ever, and like I feel like I haven't had a Sarah J Maas book in a while, but literally 1 year ago, a little less than 1 year ago, we got Crescent City, so I don't know why I feel that way. I don't have a physical copy of the book because I'm not working today. It's my day off. And I thought about going into work and getting it, but the store doesn't even open until 10. I probably could have gone early, but the store doesn't even open till 10. The roads are not super great, or at least I don't think they're gonna be. Last night we got a lot of snow again. It's very pretty outside. So I just downloaded an ebook copy. I've read the little like prologue. It's like 4 pages, if that. Oh God, I missed this world. I'm making cookies, sorry. I know it's the morning, but treat myself, right? It's Fat Tuesday too. So I'm just gonna eat and eat and eat today. I know I am, and I'm going for it. But I've missed these characters, I've missed this world, I've missed everything about it. I literally just reread the whole series, like like the fall. So it hasn't actually been that long for me personally, but I'm so excited. I'm so ready. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to read this book, but I am taking you along with me. Hello, my name is Sam and welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. I know I didn't really start this video off with an introduction. I'm just very excited about this book. But yes, welcome. This is going to be my A Court of Silver Flames reading vlog, and I am so excited. This is going to be a little different than my last couple vlogs that I've posted because it's going to be a little more guided by the book, and I'm going to have regular check-ins. The book is just shy of 800 pages, and I think I'm going to like check in like every like 80 pages or so. Maybe a little more, a little less, give or take. So there's going to be several little like check-in moments, and obviously if something major happens and I want to talk about it, I'll just like pop on. And if there's anything in my life that I want to like talk about or share with you guys, I'll pop on for that as well. That being said, I thought a lot about whether I wanted this to be a spoiler-free or spoiler-filled reading vlog, and this is your first warning, there are going to be spoilers. I am going to try and like timestamp when those are if you do want to skip around and miss those. But honestly, I don't want to be like, oh, you can 100% rely on me to catch every single spoiler that I mentioned, because I may not. And I don't want to like ruin the book for anyone, but I am going to be speaking freely about this book. I am going to, just no holds barred. I'm going to just, if it's a thing that happened, I'm very well may say it. And I probably will have a little discussion portion at the end of the vlog of some sort where I talk about just like however it ends, because I don't know if it's going to wrap up. I don't know if it's going to carry on. I literally don't know what to expect for this story. I think it's really interesting because it's in some ways like somewhat of a standalone, because this is the Nesta Cassian book, and it's just one book. Like I don't think that she's planning to write any more like Nesta books. I mean, maybe we'll get to the end and I'll be like, oh wait, I think she is, you know, we'll see. But it's going to be really interesting to read this standalone-ish novel within the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, kind of. So I am really curious about that. I am really just excited to see more Nesta. She is one of my favorite characters. I really like Cassian too. I don't think he's like a favorite necessarily, but I do love him, and I cannot wait to watch their relationship, which is just like, mwah, it's perfect in the original trilogy. So I just like, my heart's ready. My heart is ready. I am hoping for a lot of Lucian content because I love Lucian. He is probably my favorite character. Irrationally maybe, but probably my favorite character. I'm hoping for a lot of Azrael content because again, I love him. Obviously we're gonna get a lot of Nesta content. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this book takes me, and I'm excited to share that journey with you guys and just enjoy it together. Yes. I have multiple copies ordered. If any come, I'll do like unboxings. I don't know if any are gonna come. Obviously tomorrow I'll pick up my Barnes & Noble edition, but I don't really know when the other ones are shipping out. Not a rush. I'm not in a rush because I have the ebook copy. Other things. So today is my day off. Thank goodness. I only worked 2 days since my last day off, but they were a very long 2 days. We were very busy. It was a holiday weekend. I have just felt very heavy mentally, and I am looking forward to just not doing anything. And then I work for the next 4 days, right? No, 3 days. Oh, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, okay, good. Work for the next 3 days. That's actually going to be a really nice split of the week. Thank goodness. I really need that. I need that so bad. Yeah, this week is rough. And then the next couple weeks are going to be really rough. Like work-wise, I just know the hours. Like they're good hours. It's just a lot of them on a lot of days right in a row. But I can do it. We're going to get through this probably with a lot of money spending for comfort along the way. But that's looking far in the future. I don't even know. I could finish this book today for all I know. The last major release that I was super excited for, that I like read the day it came out, was Battleground. I read that in a day. That wrecked me. I don't feel the same urge to read A Court of Silver Flames as quickly, probably just because I'm more ready to like savor it, and I don't think there's really gonna be anyone who... Hello, plow. It snowed last night, so... Oh, they're coming down my street. Sorry, I had to move because the camera wasn't picking me up anymore. There's the timer for my food, so I have to go get that. But finally my day off. Oh, I don't feel like I have to read it really quickly. Like I feel like I can savor it a bit more. I'm not super worried about being spoiled. That's part of it. I am not really reading it with anyone. I know a lot of people are reading it, but sometimes I kind of read it at the same time as like one of my friends, and that's not really happening. So yeah, I feel like I can savor this book. I may not. I may just end up like ripping my way through it, but I also may end up taking like 10 days to read it. So we'll see. We'll see. This vlog will record all of that. Yes, I'm gonna go eat some breakfast. Then I'm going to take a bath because you guys know I love the bath. And yeah, then we're gonna read. I do have something I want to do today. I want to write. I want to edit a video and finally post that. I might record a video. Yeah, I have a lot I want to get done, but I think it's gonna be really good. So let's go. My face looks really red and I don't know why. But that's cool. I am on chapter 8. Chapter 8. Not a bunch has happened. I guess Cassian went to the manor and talked to Jurian, Vasa, and Lucian, and Eris was the last thing that happened. And Nesta did her first shift working at the library. So that's kind of where I am plot-wise. What are my thoughts so far? This book is definitely already much more of... Yeah, the card ran out of battery or battery space, so had to do that, take care of that. My thoughts on the book so far. Definitely much more of a romance type book than a fantasy. I don't know how to explain that, except that the way that situations are being set up and the way the characters are thinking, and so far what seems to be driving them, all seems very much closer to like romance tropes than it does to fantasy tropes. And I'm okay with that. I just wasn't expecting it because I really do think that, like especially A Court of Thorns and Roses, it really takes precedence as a fantasy with some romance thrown in. Even A Court of Mist and Fury, it's a fantasy with like a heavy romance subplot, underplot. So that it's just different in that way. I am liking it. I think embracing it as a romance novel, I think that's probably good for the future of the books. I think that's probably the best path, because that seems to be really what can drive the characters moving forward, I guess. So that's just my thought on that. The other major thought I have is, oh my god, I am pissed at Farah. and Rhysand for basically forcing Nesta into the situation. I get that they want to help her, and the only way to help her is to force her out of a bad place, but by taking away all this control from her life, basically taking away all the control from her life, it is very hard to read and very upsetting to read, and I 100% like I'm just pissed at them and think that this is in a lot of ways a very wrong way to go about doing it. I'm curious to see how that sort of thing is tackled as the book goes on. I hope it is confronted, because otherwise I think that it's a very nuanced argument and discussion to have. Like, you know, you do sometimes have to force people into situations they wouldn't put themselves in order to help them get better. But at the same time, it really can be just as destructive to have all of your choices taken away. So yeah, I'm gonna have lots of thoughts about that as the book continues. So definitely interested to see if that's like tackled or given any nuance or not. Yeah. But that's my thoughts so far. Really, the plot hasn't really kicked into gear. I'm not super far yet. It's nice reading a Sarah J Maas book again. Yeah. I think by this point in Crescent City, I was a lot more taken with it than I am with A Quarter Silver Flames, but I also think that just A Quarter Silver Flames hasn't really gotten to the point where it's ready to take off yet. So, we'll see. Alright, I'm freaking out because, oh my god, chapter 13, Nesta's in the library talking to Gwen about Meryl, and we have gotten the most in-world context for the like shared like multiverse type theory, like of people being aware of it, besides like Aelin at the very end of Kingdom of Ash. And I'm just like freaking out a little bit. But it says Meryl, when she first came here, she was obsessed with theories regarding the existence of different realms, different worlds, living on top of each other without even knowing it. Whether there's merely one existence, our existence, or if it might be possible for worlds to overlap, occupying the same space but separated by time and a whole bunch of other things I can't even begin to explain to you because I barely understand them myself. Some philosophers believe there are 11 worlds like that, and some believe there are as many as 26, the last one being time itself, which... honestly, I looked at some of her early research and my eyes bled just reading her theorizing and formulas. Like, holy shit. So there's at least 11 worlds, right? So we know the one from Throne of Glass, we know the one from Court Thorns and Roses, and we know obviously the one from Crescent City. And I think Crescent City even talks about there being like an additional one. So we have like 4, I think. Ooh, what? Is this book actually going to go into that? Are we going to get crossover? Like, I never thought that would happen. I thought it was just kind of like a teaser, like, oh, these worlds are connected. I'm living for it. Like, oh my god. I'm so excited. Like, even just this much. I love shared universes, and oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm freaking out a little bit. I'm that excited. Oh my god. And in a less freaking out way. So I'm about to go to work. My timer actually just went off to tell me, oh yeah, it's time to get ready to go. I'm going to obviously do the things to get ready, and I'm going to pick up a physical edition of the book at work, assuming that someone didn't sell the copy I had set aside for myself. Like, it had my name on it and had a reservation slip, but I don't know who is I don't know who is putting them out yesterday, so hopefully they didn't like miss that on accident. But I'm going to go pick up a physical copy, and I'm looking forward to having a physical copy of it. I think it's going to be really really nice. As much as I don't mind reading on Kindle, I much prefer a real book. So yes, that's what I am going to go do, and I probably won't be home until late. And yeah, I'll definitely do some reading on my breaks at work, and I'll check in again when I get home at some point. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention, so the house is like sentient in the book, and oh, I love sentient houses. There's like one of my favorite things. Like, Starless Sea kind of does it with the kitchen. Who else does it? I'm trying to think. I know other books have done it, and I'm such a sucker when like a building or a house is sentient or like connected to a character. It's just like, it makes me feel so happy. Like, that sort of relationship just makes me really weirdly happy. So yes, very, very much loving that. Okay, off to work, off to more reading. Okay, just popping in to say I finally got the physical copy, and I took the dust jacket off already. I should have showed you with it on, but it's a chunker, and that's about how far I am. Chapter 17. I am enjoying it. It's very comfortable to be reading a Sarah J Maas book again, and I love her writing. It's just very comfortable. However, it doesn't really feel like there's any plot at this point. Like, I mean, there's obviously plot because things are happening, but it's very thin. Anyway, I'm just really curious to see where it goes, so I don't know. I hope something starts happening soon, or something bigger starts happening soon, or I don't know, there's more of a through line. But I am really curious to see where it goes, so yeah, I will pop in tomorrow morning with an update. I might read a little more tonight. We'll see how tired I am after I shower and eat. Yeah. I hope you can see me because the way that the sunlight is coming in is like blinding me. So I hope it's not like messing with the like composition of the image. It's the weekend, it's Saturday, it's my day off, so that's really exciting. I haven't done a lot of reading. I'm not super far, I'm not even at the halfway point yet. I don't want to say the book is boring, but like compared to just every other one of her books, except like maybe A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is just kind of garbage all the way around, there's not really anything that's happened in this book. The new characters that are introduced, I don't feel like there's much to them. So like Emery, we obviously met in A Court of Frost and Starlight, and then Gwyn is a new character, but I don't feel like we get to know them all that much. It's really just like, here's a character, here's like a little bit about them, and it's great that Nesta is making friends. Like, this is awesome. I'm happy for her. I think she really needs that. But I don't know, there's like a lack of character development. I think another problem that I kind of have with the book is it feels very safe. You know, A Court of Frost and Starlight felt very safe because we were just kind of getting like a moment to look in at these characters' lives, like what happened after the trilogy. I'm not worried that anything bad is going to happen to the characters we know, because everything bad that could have happened has kind of already passed for a lot of them. Like Feyre and Rhys, what, after that whole 3-book journey, they're gonna like die? I don't think so. That's not gonna happen. You know, Amryn, nothing bad's gonna happen to her. She already had something bad happen to her. Azriel, we haven't gotten his book yet, so nothing bad is gonna happen to him. Same with Elaine. And like Nesta and Cassian, I strongly do not believe that it's gonna be some sort of tragedy with either of them in the book. So it just feels very safe in that way. And already her books just feel very safe. Like, I'm never that worried about characters in a Sarah J Maas book, but I'm especially not worried about characters in this book because there's no reason to be. Besides just like knowing, you know, having read the rest of the series and being like, it's almost illogical for something really horrible to happen. There's just not really any stakes yet. And the only stakes that exist are really similar stakes to book 3, like Nesta being afraid to scry or having a hard time scrying, and the cauldron being scary and needing to find this lost MacGuffin. Like, it feels a lot like a retread, and it feels very boring in that way. I also think, and this is me as a writer saying that I think it's a mistake that Cassian and Nesta are still in a familiar place to the reader. I really wish they could have been taken out of the familiar parts of the story so that the stakes felt a little raised. It feels more like a very extended prologue to something bigger happening. It feels a lot like this all could have been novella type happenings, because it's just very familiar. Nothing really new has been put in except for this dread trove, which feels very much sort of extra. I know that there's kind of an explanation for why they didn't even think about this in the original trilogy when they needed powerful magics, but still it kind of feels like it was just slipped in there. It doesn't feel like it's a natural occurrence, you know. And I don't know, in those ways the book is really disappointing. Again, I'm not even halfway through, so maybe it will just feel like an extended prologue and some big things will happen. I do know I just finished, I think it's chapter 29. I just finished chapter 29, so we know that Nesta's power is pure death, whatever that means. I think it's really cool, the description of like this cold fire. It reminds me a lot of Coltane from Throne of Glass, which I'm super into because she was a very cool character. Yeah, and I am really honestly enjoying the fact that it is a Sarah J Maas book, because those are really comfortable books to read for me. Very like buttery, I guess. Like they're very smooth and easy to read, and I do, to a degree, just pretty much always connect with her characters. I think she's very good at writing connectable characters. This book less so than all her others. This book's very weak. So far, it's just incredibly weak. So it is a little disappointing in that way. But like I said, not super far, so I'm not going to be giving that as like my final opinion yet. But definitely the book will need to do a bit more work before I'm like, yes, this is amazing. Also, the smutty scenes like have just been okay. It's like, oh yeah, sure. Yay, Nesta and Cassian. Finally, we've been waiting. Okay. Alright, it's over. Oh, again? Okay. Oh, it's over? Okay. Like, I don't know. They're just not doing it for me. But we'll see how the book goes. We'll definitely see how it goes. I mean, I'll finish it this month. That's going to happen. But I don't know, like, I'm definitely not going to finish it as quickly as I thought I would, or as quickly as I wanted to. So that's kind of interesting. Normally I like rage through her books, and this one I haven't. But yes, this is a vlog, not just about this book, mostly about this book, but not just about this book. Today is Saturday, it's my day off. I am obviously going to do a lot of reading. I really want to do some cleaning because my room is a little bit of a sty at the moment. And I want to do a little bit of writing, maybe some YouTube. We'll see. It's gonna be very much a like we'll see kind of day. Yeah. I don't know how many more times I'll pop in today specifically. If something exciting happens, I will. Okay, I know it's crooked again, perched on the bed. I'm slightly worried it's actually gonna fall. That's definitely not better. Okay, we're gonna hope. Hello, it's Monday. It's been almost a week since I started reading A Court of Silver Flames. Sarah J Maas books never take me this long, so this is a little like maybe a symptom of my thoughts on this book, I guess. And just, can you hear the birds? They're very happy. They're eating. We have a bird feeder, and that's what they're just like feasting around. So that's really neat. Okay, but where am I? I'm just past the halfway mark. So this book, I think I mentioned, is much more of a romance than it is a fantasy, which I'm fine with. I just think there's almost no fantasy story elements, and while I'm always down, or not always, but while I am down to read a fantasy or a romance story, this series is also a fantasy series, and this one, just kind of getting rid of that is slightly making it boring. But here's the other thing that I kind of have issue with it being so romance heavy. There are a lot of sex scenes, a lot more than in any of her other books. And on one hand, I'm like, yes, okay, cool, let's do that. Let's just throw them all in here. But on the other hand, sometimes they feel so pointless. Like, I'm like, wow, these characters are just horny. That's like a characteristic of them. Like, really? That's such a boring characteristic. That's not interesting. It doesn't, because there's so many of the sex scenes, it doesn't feel like they're advancing the relationship or the plot. At least at this point, it's just like really retreading the same thing. Like, literally every time Nesta and Cassian go at it, Nesta's always just like, just sex, Cassian, and he's like, oh damn. But like, they don't like communicate beyond that. And then one or the other is left feeling like, oh, did you not enjoy it? And then the other was like, no, I enjoyed it. And then they go at it again, and they're just like, oh, just sex. And they're like, okay. And it's like, this cycle isn't pushing anything forward. You know, it's not advancing the story or the relationship or anything. And it's taking up a lot of page space to not do those things. It feels very servicey, like, I don't want to say fan servicey necessarily, but it feels like it's just like feeding into the desire to see these kind of scenes and just throwing them in there without needing them to be there. Like I said, I'm down for a good sex scene. That's great in a romance story. Let's go for it. But it gets boring if there's no reason for it to be happening. Like, why focus so much time on these scenes if they're not serving a purpose other than to just exist as scenes? And that's just how I'm feeling about them. I will say, I also wasn't like, I was like, these are kind of boring. Like, beyond that, I was like, oh, I just can't get into these scenes. But then, actually, the two most recent ones, and I'm on chapter 42. I'm on chapter 42. The two most recent ones, I was actually like, okay, no, I can get into these. These are good. But like, up until those, I was just like, this is boring on literally every level. So yes, that's my update today, I guess. I will finish this book before the end of the month. I was kind of hoping I would have finished it earlier, but it really is a little, it's not like a drag to get through. It's just very slow because it's not much of a plot. It's very much left me asking, okay, why are we telling this story? Why are we doing another fetch quest for the mask? Like, again? Are you kidding me? Theory, though, there are 3 items. We know we're getting 3 books. This had the mask on the cover. I forget what the other 2 were. One was a crown and a mirror, I think. So I'm guessing like book 2 and 3 will be like crown and mirror focused in their own turn. I don't know if I ever shared this theory. I'm pretty sure Vasa, what's her name? You know, the one hanging out with Jurian and Lucian. I'm pretty sure she's gonna get a novel, or at least a novella at some point. There's just like a lot going on in that space. But yes, that's my thoughts on the book so far. It's just kind of exists. It exists. It's a thing that exists. Wasn't at this point worth waiting 3 years for, or however long it's been since A Court of Wings and Ruin came out. But I'm not done with it. My opinion might change at the end. Honestly, I feel like it could go either way. It could swing either way. So we'll see. It is 10:20ish. So I'm going to read until about 11 when I have to get ready and then leave for work. But I've already been pretty productive. I did some writing. I did some YouTube work. And yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. I think today is going to be a nice productive day. When I come yesterday, I managed to read a lot of my breaks. So hopefully I'll read a lot of my breaks today. And then when I come home, we'll see how I'm feeling. Maybe I'll read some more. Maybe I'll do some more writing. We will see. But yeah, yesterday was nice and productive. Today was nice and productive. Or seems like it's going to be nice and productive. And I hope I'm not jinxing myself. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Alright. There are just so many things in this book that are disappointing me, that there's no way it's going to be higher than a 3 stars. And I will probably have a very extensive review with all of my thoughts, because it's just, it's not going well. My bookmark, like there, I'm a there. I will say it's finally gotten to a point where I'm enjoying it, like genuinely enjoying it as a story and everything. That started happening probably like the scene with the prison when they go to get the harp. But up until then, I don't think I could say I was enjoying this book necessarily. Like, it was fine, but now I'm liking it. But yeah, at this point there's been so much just damage to the story and to the book that it's not going to be higher than a 3 stars. I might finish it tonight. Fingers crossed. If not, I think I'll finish it tomorrow. Fingers crossed for that as well. But I think it'd be nicer to finish it tonight and just be done with it, so that I can put my thoughts in order. And I need to just like collect all of my thoughts, because I've never really, I mean, Court of Frost and Starlight doesn't count because that was like barely a book. This is the only Sarah J Maas book that I've just like been like, I don't think I like it. Yeah. Okay, I have about an hour and a half before I need to go to work. I have less than 100 pages left. You can't see my bookmark, I'm sorry. I'm really gonna try to finish. I really want to finish the book so that I could come home and just work on editing it tonight, because I really wanted this video to go up on this coming Thursday. So in like 2 days. That's probably not gonna happen. But a girl can dream, right? So hopefully gonna finish this before work. Then I can switch back to Cemetery Boys. My thoughts of the book at the moment. I don't like that Nesta and Cassian are mates. I think it would have been nicer if they weren't. I don't think that like every relationship in the book has to be focused around the like mystical bond of like mates. Like it's in some ways it feels like even more romantic, or romantic in a different way, if the characters aren't like destined to be together. Like, it is really sweet when they are. I'm not gonna like knock that, but I don't know. It feels very predictable that they're mates. Like, Aelin and Rowan are mates. Farah and Rhysand are mates. Now Cassian and Nesta. Take a guess. Are Bryce and Hunt gonna end up being mates of some sort? Probably. So, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of that happening. I don't think it's like inherently a bad thing. It's just a me preference. Nesta being forced into the blood right. I'm surprised I didn't see that coming. I like that plot. But I think it's detrimental to the story because it takes Nesta out of it. Like, I think actually this has been a problem that I've had with the story. So, it's Nesta's book, Nesta and Cassian. But in a lot of ways, it feels like she's not part of, like, half the story. You know, like, the whole thing with Breelyn, like, yes, she had to go find the items from the Dread Trove. But beyond that, she really hasn't had much to do with that storyline. And it's her book. So, everything should revolve around her. Even Cassian doesn't feel like he's had that much to do with that storyline. So it feels like Az has been doing a lot, Moore has been doing a lot, even like Farah and Rhysand seem to be doing a lot off page. Lucian is like doing a lot, he's like in the Spring Court, like Eris has been doing a lot, like literally everyone has been doing a lot except our main characters, and I think that's something that's just bothering me about this book. But yes, less than 100 pages. I am gonna try to capture some of my reading, and if I have thoughts, I'll like turn to the camera and be like, so that's my thought. So we're gonna see how that goes. I don't know how long the battery or memory card will last. Also, my eye is like swollen. I don't think the camera's gonna be able to pick it up, but it's like bothering me. I don't know if you can see that. It's like visibly swollen compared to like this one, so it's bothering me. It happens. It actually happens a lot. My eyes swell sometimes, but it like hurts to blink, and ugh. It's been a day already. I woke up just feeling like really anxious, and yeah, also I'm having like muscle spasms in my nose, and it's also bothering me. Feels like my nose is like getting ready to sneeze, and it's not. But okay, enough about me. Let's go back to the book. That's it? That's it? They took care of Breland. That was incredibly anticlimactic. Koshi, I guess, is still around. Oh no, not some looming big bad. How terrifying. Like, I really, that's it? That was it? That's it? I don't even know. This was such a disappointing book. There were moments where I was like, oh, it's turning around, it's getting better. And then it just wouldn't. This was so disappointing. Am I excited for another one to exist in this series? I don't know. I don't know. I'll read it. But, I don't know. This was really disappointing. Hopefully the next one is better. It's over. So this is the end of the video. Hopefully it'll be up on Thursday. We'll see how quickly I can edit it together. Maybe you'll be watching this on Thursday. That'd be pretty neat. That means I did it. But I actually have like half an hour before I need to leave, so I'm gonna see if I can like fit in a little pizza because I'm really hungry all of a sudden. Fingers crossed I can. I think I can. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching, for spending time with me, for reading while I read this book. I will definitely have a review of some sort posted as soon as I can because I just have so many thoughts. Mostly like just complaints. I think this book is like a solid 3 stars, which is so far lower than I really thought it would be. But I'm just so disappointed by it. But anyways, yes. Goodbye. Thanks for stopping by. If you read this book, let me know what you thought because I'm curious. If you really enjoyed this book, I want to know, like, what parts of it did you really enjoy? Like, what made you love it? And maybe if you tell me, I'll learn to love it too because I really wanted to. So I will see you later. Bye-bye.